जाते श्वास में, हे मना खुद को डुबो दे, हे मना खुद को डुबो दे। आए दुख तो घबराए, फिर प्रभु को याद करे। आए दुख तो घबराए, फिर प्रभु को याद करे। याद न करता इस मालिक को, पल पल जाए मुराद करे, पल पल जाए मुराद करे। प्रभु नहीं है दूर तुझसे, प्रभु नहीं है दूर तुझसे, है करनी विश्वास में। तू ही तू सुमिरन ही हो पर, आते जाते श्वास में। तू ही तू सुमिरन ही हो हर, आते जाते श्वास में। हे मना खुद को डुबो दे,
सुलू करके पीछे को आंसू उतरने क्लियर करके सही होता है। सुलू करके खाने को नीचे only re-establishing connections sister of the
सारंग पानी कहो कबीर अज सारंग पानी उर्वार पार सब एक दानी उर्वार पार सब एक दानी दीन दयाल परोसे तेरे दीन दयाल परोसे तेरे सब परिवार चढ़ाया दे सब परिवार चढ़ाया दे नाम जपो जी ऐसे ऐसे राम जपो जी ऐसे ऐसे ध्रुव प्रहलाद जपियो हर जैसे ध्रुव प्रहलाद जपियो हर जैसे
You can't help but show off. Because the low price of all things home.
कर दो नाम दीवाना जी अब कर दो नाम दीवाना काबू शब्द निशाना जी अब कर दो नाम दीवाना कर दो नाम दीवाना जी अब कर दो नाम काबू शब्द निशाना जी अब कर दो नाम एक गुरु से दाना शब्द दियो पहचाना शब्द दियो पहचाना जी अब कर दो नाम दीवाना जी अब कर दो नाम दीवाना कर दो नाम दीवाना जी अब कर दो नाम दीवाना मन साथ सदा भरवाना कर कृपा करम छुड़ाना कर कृपा करम छुड़ाना जी कर दो नाम दीवाना जी अब कर दो नाम दीवाना जी
వాళ్ళతో మా బ్రదర్స్ తర్వాత ఇక్కడ పరిస్థితి మీ బ్రదర్స్ అంటే లేదు ఇంకో
सब झूठे बाण
షాప్లో లేదండి అన్నట్టు నేను ఇక్కడికి వచ్చాను ఇక్కడికి డైరెక్ట్ పేషెంట్ అక్కడ వచ్చేసి నేను ఎఫెక్ట్స్ This is message
Luis was about to send the gift to his mom. When it occurred to him, he could give it to her in person.
message చూస్తుంటే వాట్సాప్ అందులో ఎవరో అంటే ఎవరు న్యూజెర్సీ నుంచి రాజేంద్ర కనిపెట్టింది स्वामी चरण समाना अब राधा स्वामी चरण समाना जी अब कर दो नाम दीवाना कर दो नाम दीवाना जी अब कर दो नाम दीवाना कर दो नाम दीवाना जी अब कर दो नाम दीवाना అమ్మాయికి 5 అబ్బాయికి 3 కంప్లీట్ And then you know that people came from yeah, I heard you always tell them that you know, right about
बलिहारी गुरु बनो जिन गोविंद दियो गरीब नवाज मेरे पापड़ गरीब नवाज मेरे पापड़ पार करण दे हामी पार मैनो पार करण दे हामी पार
Challa
One cinnamon caramel cream nitro cold brew.
I'm a local too. So I'm looking for someone who can complete this. You hungry? I know a place. It's the city that never sleeps. But hey, if you need a last minute spot, I got you covered. Let's link up at hotels.com.
दिन राही मेरा सतगुरु आवे उस राह पर बिछावे दिन राही मेरा सतगुरु आवे तेरे कमल की धूल लेके मस्तक तेरा तेरे कमल की धूल लेके मस्तक तेरा तेरी कृपा होवे सतगुरु जी तेरी कृपा होवे दिल दा हाल सुना गरीब नवाज मेरे बापर अपने सतगुरु नहीं हृदय पलक बिछावा अपने मलकादी मैं सेज बना के फूल सजावा मलकादी मैं सेज बना के तेरी कृपा होवे सतगुरु जी तेरी कृपा होवे सतगुरु हर विच दर्शन पावा ओ गरीब नवाज मेरे बापर चाहे हार हो चाहे जीत हो, चाहे हार हो चाहे जीत हो, तेरे चरणों में सतगुरु मेरी प्रीत हो, तेरे चरणों में सतगुरु मेरी प्रीत हो। चाहे हार हो चाहे जीत हो, तेरे चरणों में सतगुरु मेरी प्रीत हो। चाहे हार हो
Topic
ఎవరైనా బాబాయ్ గురించి మాట్లాడాలంటే If anybody wants to say some kind words about Naga, please come forward.
My favorite Naga has been my friend for the past 30 plus years. He was a roommate, classmate, guru in many terms. We both worked together. Our dearest friend actually. I know him since 91 end. Yeah. From 92 he was our roommate. When I moved to Chicago, I joined in Motorola and then I said, sir, I'm going to bring you to Chicago. We both worked for the same company for over 2.5, 3 years, and then he worked at Northern Trust for a long time. And Naga sir is a epitome of happiness and kindness actually. I've never seen him being impatient, always smiling. Me, my family, and entire clan of our friends, we'll just miss him, really, seriously. Just 3-4 months back, we all had a family vacation. When Naga joined us, all of our 4 roommates actually were all here. We coined our friendship as 5 Some, and we lost one yesterday. We were together, thick and thin in life. Now, a lot of people may not know. The guy has never slept in his life. Always tried to help his family. His only goal was to make sure all his siblings' kids were in top positions, and that's what he wanted. He would do 4 jobs on the campus. So imagine human being doing 3-4 jobs when we were sitting and trying to even get by with our coursework and then just 1 job. He would be always everywhere. And he continued with that. I would always make him, just in January I told him, in fact 3 weeks ago I told him, sir, let's live life. Listen, I gotta go home. I want to really have a peaceful life back home in Challa. He would tell me, sir, in the morning, meditate, change, satsang. I have friends from his satsang in Chicago too. People are baffled. People just can't imagine that it goes that fast from us. It's unbearable, to be honest with you. It's a great loss for me personally. Because when my son was about to be born, my wife was pregnant, he was my roommate, me, wife, and we all were living in one 2-bedroom apartment, and he would every day morning would wake up and say, sir, nenu ee roju pillaki cut chestan sir, kurayal cut chesi potanu sir, blah blah blah. He was my dearest friend actually, and I'll miss him personally. He moved to East Coast, and I'm still in touch. Every time we make a joke, he would always make us make more jokes. I'll miss him dearly, and I'm sure my roommates and all good friends from that Western Michigan University, they've joined us here. We all will miss him. Such a great personality. One thing I want to tell the siblings, just take good things from him. He strived for his family. I don't think you would ever see anyone struggling for his family so much. And you got to respect him. And that's the legacy that you guys have to carry forward. Such a great guy. We just built a temple last year. He was the first one to say, okay, sir, next time, we got to take care of it. That, you can't buy those things. It has to come from heart. And you rarely see those kind of people. And he's one of the gems. And I'm going to conclude here. I can talk for 1 hours actually about Naga. I cannot imagine that he's no more here, seriously. My brother was sharing me something about his routine when he was in Chicago, Chicory. Every Friday, he has to cook aloo curry by himself. And then he has to go to Indian grocery store and get fresh budgets for himself. My brother was telling me, sir, when he was with us, obviously there was no routine for him. We were like a family. But when he was with the friends, this was his routine. He's such a modest individual, never cared for himself. His thing was, okay, hey, my dhyas, sandhya, in the morning, do his meditation, take care of business, work hard. If anybody calls, stop nicely, try to help them out, and then move on. Yesterday, Shiva called me, his satsang friend. He lost his, he finished his contract. And I called him and said, hey, Naga, did you hear about Naga? The guy didn't know what I was talking about. He calls me back and says, even sir, Naga sir ki na contract ippistunaru. I said, contract Babu, I just heard Naga is no go. The guy broke down. He just spoke to him on Wednesday. Life is so short. So my request to you all, family and friends, is we can take good things from this wonderful individual that we know in our journey. That is called life. And I truly miss him. And he's one of the best gems I've ever seen in my life. That's a great guy. I hired so many people from Challa because of Naga-san. I'm not kidding. It's just because of his modesty, his intelligence to work hard, and then being in his own box to make sure things are done, and then move on. And I just want to, on behalf of your family, I want to really appreciate our friends from Western Michigan University who joined us here. They flew from across the country. And that is the respect that he commands. And again, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti.
Hello, Randy. My name is Veeramallu Buddu. I come from Vettapalam. My wife is from the same village as he is. I know him. I think maybe some of you might have visited back in 1993. I used to live in Champaign-Urbana. My mom was visiting because I came to US in 1982. Me and my wife joined me later in 1983. He used to call once in a while or communicate to my brother-in-law and tell that my brother is there and all the things. And I spoke to him, and all of a sudden, sir, we are going to come there. So they all, I think 2 or 3 friends, maybe some of you are here. And let me tell, he doesn't have to take, from East Lansing all the way to, they were going to Cincinnati or somewhere. They stayed, we were living in a townhouse that time. I just joined the US Army Corps that time, and I was looking for a house, but they accommodated and so happy all the time. All of you were. Hey, I said, he's in a good company. And all of you were very happy. And then my mom said, this guy, Challa, there you go by the last name. I am called Buddu by my wife, Dogbat Wallamai. So she used to tell just by the last name. Oh, Challa ఇక్కడికి వచ్చాడు నాకు చాలా సంతోషంగా ఉంది. Only 2 people came, one from other Arab, my mom's distant relative, Professor Katamurthy. He also visited. She was so happy to see the people. Then later on, his brother used to communicate some other things with him and all that. But, I think I don't get your name, but he has spoken. He is such a friendly, nice person. All the time whenever I call, he used to be, sir, if you need anything or anything like that, that kind of volunteers himself. Later I went to Panjalpalli. That time at the Shivalayam there, they were building a Kalyana Mandapam. Then someone told me that, do you know Challa Ekambareswara? He contributed to the Kalyana Mandapam very heavily. He's one of the largest donors. Then I realized, oh boy, this guy has Adhyatmika, social service, that kind of aspects, and you can also see he worked for his family. I would like to tell recent experience that is, there is a high school or junior college, Barlabapaya Hindu Junior College, which celebrated centennial year last year. That time also he was contributing, and later we have a committee to how to improve the quality of education. He is on that team. That's the time I asked, Ekambareswara, are you in India or here? He said, no, I am in North Carolina. Then I called him and then he said, I am staying with my brother's son in Charlotte. So then, he communicated. Then after a month or so, last March, I called and then he said, oh, I am staying in Holly Springs. Hey, I live in Apex. We should get together and all that. And then I said, oh, you have, did your brother's son move here? He said, no, this is another sibling's son. And he also told there is one more in New Jersey. Okay, we just said, why don't you just come and meet at any time? Then he said on Saturday or Sunday, I think Gautam and his family, and they both came and we, said, oh, we already had lunch. So we just had tea and we had so many things to catch up. We used to call Turpuramba, all those things are there, I felt so homely and hey, we should get together again. And my wife had to go to India just for there is a function or a temple, 6th anniversary, which he contributed to. And then yesterday morning I was trying to see my wife is going to return from India by 8th and I am planning for, what are your travel plans and other things. And nobody took the phone. Then I was checking my WhatsApp group, Pravasam Murugayapuri we have, that is Murugayapuri for Vettapalam, ancient name. And I saw this message coming from this number and then again I tried to call because somebody would pick up his phone. Then I called the person who posted, then he said it's Rajendra from New Jersey, his brother's son. And it was కొంతమంది మనకి దిగ్భ్రాంతి అంటే ఉంటుంది అంటే దిగ్భ్రాంతి అంటే we can't even recognize which direction we are, where we are standing. That kind of status I was in. I was trying, I spoke to him on 22nd or 23rd also this month, in April. And then all of a sudden it is, nobody could believe. I did not even tell my wife till, even though still as of today, she is there in Pandalpalli in their house because that's her brother's house there. And I didn't tell her because she would be stunned and considering her health condition, I'm going to tell her slowly. But she might go and visit the family. And I'll tell you, I see so many people who are here. That means he is loved by so many people. As you said, he has done a lot of good things. And he was telling me that I have 2 daughters and somebody's sister's son. I need to help them with getting them married with their education. Then I was telling, why don't you ask them to come here? They can continue here too. Oh, once they finish their studies, we'll take care of them. I'm sure they will do well and all things. And I felt very proud of him. Even though I felt he stayed away from traveling, going from India, staying for some time and coming back here. People do good things. Some people, they boast about them, but he is not that type. He is very modest. He comes from very modest family. I know because I lived there. But he followed education and he instituted that kind of values. Education is very important. You can see all his siblings, children and all these things. He is, sometimes I don't want to go to that stage where I can't speak anymore. I'm holding on myself. I felt, one of my Peddamma, that is my mom's sister, same last name. So I consider him as my younger brother. I conclude with this Shanti Mantra, Purnamidam Purnam. Eventually the meaning is, this Parthiv Sariram is finite. Everybody has to go through this one. కొంతమందికి కాలధర్మం at the ages, కొంతమంది అకాలధర్మం. I consider this is అకాలధర్మం because he has a lot of future in the thing. but the soul is there. Go to the eternal place which it came from. Om Shanti Shanti. So peace to the soul. Be peace. And all of you agree with. And I think I give my final namaskar. Thank you.
I'm Shiva Vilkan. So, Naga's been in my team for like 7 years. And we all who all have come here, we come from the HN to Optum team. So let me start with, I think while I was driving down from Virginia along with my friends, I just did tell it my first experience with Naga. I did not know him, and when I joined Optum or QSSI at that point of time, and I took over the team, I was in a meeting which was around 11:30, and I think most of you are aware he is one of the most talented and exceptional DBAs I've ever seen in my whole career. My career spans about 35 years. I've not seen anybody as confident to be on a keyboard accessing production. One of the characteristic features of a confident and an excellent DBA. So going back to those days, at about 11:30 or so in the night, there were about 30 people on the call. I never knew who Naga was, I just heard the name. And it was a production incident, which, and I think, I don't know, some of you are aware, our team works for a project for the state of Massachusetts. We cater to the Medicaid population. That's insurance to the Medicaid population. So we have a complex and a huge system which has been running for the past 6 years. He's been a very integral part to the success of that. So that means he has touched indirectly or directly the lives of so many, almost 2 million poor people in Massachusetts. So coming back to that meeting, so there was a production incident wherein it needed some production database updates, and all this in a very tight deadline. So there were almost 40 people on that call on that almost midnight, including the top executive. I was working with him very closely, and he reports to the Secretary of Health in the state of Massachusetts. He was also there on the call, but he was listening. I was also listening, and there was so much of, crosstalk which happens sometimes in a production incident. He was all very silent, but he was having the hands on the keyboard. And then I heard this voice of Naga saying, "Look here, guys." I mean, he didn't care who was in the meeting, whether it's a top brass, top boss. He just didn't care. He just said, "Look here, guys, this is production. I'm having my hands on the keyboard accessing production. So all of you maintain your silence. Do not disturb me. I will call you out if I need help." And he finished the job in about 10 minutes. Everything was all set, and we moved on. Pin drop silence. What I'm trying to say here is an exceptionally talented person, a very, very humble person, but he commands total respect when he's in his zone. It's a very scary thing dealing with a huge system, especially production. At the end of it, you hit an enter key, things can happen But there's not even one incident that things went wrong, knock on wood. It's a huge void for all of us. First of all, a very noble human being, as so many people have already spoken before me. A very humble person, and he's a powerful person, but nobody even, he doesn't show that. There's not even one person in this whole, my team, or the whole MAS project, which is, we have teams all over the country, here we have teams in India. There's not even one person who can raise a finger against Naga. It's just because of the work and the respect he commands. But again, on the other side, he comes to you, talks so humbly. I mean, a week back or something, myself and my other person who was working with me, Vijay and Naga, we three were on a kind of call, and there was some kind of a confusion on some thing, and we clarified all that, and he immediately picks up the phone and calls me and tells, Sugaru, Edana, tappu chesena. I told me tappu cheyadam. No, you can't go wrong. There's nothing wrong in what you did. And there's so many times though I'm from the south, I'm not a Telugu person. I know Telugu very well, so I speak to him mostly in Telugu whenever we are on offline conversations. And if I just tell him, Naga, you say what I put, sir. I mean, he gives you that, and I think all of my colleagues here will agree that whatever touches through the system goes in. It has indirectly or directly got the blessing of his in some way or the other from a technical aspect. It is when we heard this on Friday morning, and again, how we came to know about it is because he's always in the system early in the morning. And I know my friends like Koti and Prasad immediately contact him on an hourly basis, whether it is work or not work, at least, hearing him he was unusually not on the system. And that's when we came to know about the sad story that he left us. And everything came to a standstill at work on Friday. There were numerous meetings that got cancelled just because it was a tremendous shock. People were not even believing what just happened. Even while driving and coming here, we were not believing. And I mean, look at him. If you just see him, he's the same person that we have seen just a day ago or 2 days ago. All I can say, he definitely was a kind of a father figure technically in the roles we played. Everybody looked upon to him. He commanded the respect of each and every one. He's at a better place, no doubt, and he will be at a better place because of, I've heard so many things. I've not gone too much into details on his personal family life, but I do know that his whole life he has sacrificed for the betterment of his siblings, of his family, indirect family and direct family, both. That is it is not very easy to do that. Being in this materialistic world, that much sacrifice, I don't think it is possible for people to easily do. So, he's at a great place. The sadness is all on us that he has bid farewell without bidding farewell. My sincere on behalf of the team, we just pay all our respects to him for all the good work he has done, for all the guidance he has given. It's going to be very tough when we start our system on Monday morning to know that he's not there, to also feel the void on getting his guidance on so many things. But again, I'll just conclude by passing on my our sincere condolences to his friends and Gautam, thank you very much for taking care of him on behalf of all of us. It means a lot, Gautam. Please do not hesitate to ping me or Vijay or Amit for anything that you need to do. I promise you it will be done. Thanks again.
This is the first time I ever have to stand like this. I'm so excuse me if I break up. I hope Naga has been our friend for more than 30 years. As we country got to Napadu 30 years ago, most of you may have been knowing what kind of hardships that we have to go through. There are some things that you wouldn't even share with your family because they will feel bad. Those are some of the things that we actually live together. Even our time, every single dollar was so very precious. We could see. మేమందరం చాలా చెప్పినట్టు ఒకటో రెండో జాబ్లు చేయడానికే కష్టపడుతుంటే he will not only work so many jobs, but at the same time we could actually go to him for any help related to the assignments. So in fact, most of us call him as Naga sir or sir. I don't think I call any of my friends with that name. So in a way, we are so very blessed to have a friend like him. I doubt if I will get any more new friends like this. We are so very fortunate. Especially my other roommates being vegetarians, we used to cook food. And Naga even actually had such a nice taste in food. You would actually take the time to cook the food rather than just rushing through microwave food. So, I don't know where he would actually fall short. He's like a good role model. In fact, he's more than a family, more than a friend to all of us. Even my wife and even my friends and their families also know Naga so very well. It's very unfortunate that we have to say goodbye to him. But I'm sure he found a better friend up there. And even during school days, we used to have so much fun just watching Chicago Bulls games. He used to be such a, we all used to be great fans of Chicago Bulls at that time. Even exam time low, TV this so that way our grades wouldn't be impacted playing, watching the games. And during the spring summer days, we used to travel together. But at the end of the day, if you look at him, he hardly spent any money on himself. Most of the money he used to either spend it supporting his family members, but such was his generosity. It's very rare that we'll find friends like him. Goodbye, my friend.
నా పేరు సూరి అలాగే పిలిచేవాడు. But I used to call him, most of them used to call him Naga sir, but I used to call him Ekambareswara. And I hate this speech, honestly, because I don't want, we just met him and he was with us in December. We forced him to come and join us. He was so happy, right? I haven't seen him in a while. I spoke with him on the phone a few months prior to that, but he came and met us, and we went back. We went back to the Western days, like 30 years ago. So that's where our journey started, right? Those days, as some of these guys said, every penny is precious. We used to sit on the floor, eat, cook. He loved to help, right? He's always like behind the scenes, cutting the vegetables, washing the dishes, and then do all those things. When we met in South Carolina, so we spent a few days together, and then we walked around, and then all the jokes came back, all the laughter came back. We all kind of forgot our stress levels for a few days. Then there was the TV interview going on. We were all in there, jumped in and interviewed. All those things, how I came from AP, I came from Tanuku, he's from Challa, so we have that coastal connection and always used to talk about AP politics and how they're doing in Chirala and all. So there's school days aside, school talk aside, we used to talk quite a bit about his hometown and people and all those things. It was can't stand here and kind of looking at him and say, we're not going to have those conversations anymore. It's very hard. A few things as they spoke, few things everybody has to learn from him. Humble, humility, hard work. And family always comes for him, right? First. And we all came from the similar background. And so from day one, he never left those traits were always with him. And then when anyone, as friends, when we meet him, he is always the same guy, right? With smile, friendly, and you wonder he's like that with everyone. So there are no boundaries to his friendship. Everyone comes across or came across have the same opinion, right? Smiley face, very friendly, and same values. But then he never talked bad about anyone. When he crosses different people, because he came across so many people, right? Not just the guys from Western. He was working last 30 years here and all. Then we talked about the house he built. He showed us the pictures, and it was unreal. One thing I always used to push him, just like others said, because we're kind of jealous of him too, right? He was so hardworking. We felt like we were kind of slacking in front of him. And we're kind of asking him, hey, stop. I always used to push him. I wanted to see your family come join us, and we wanted to have to spend more time. That thing never happened, but I will miss him. I don't think he's going to change, even though he's in a different place. He's going to be the same guy, same friendly guy. He will wish us the best for not just for the friends, but for most importantly for the family. As others touch, I mean, he gave away what I call most of his life that he hasn't seen or enjoyed, that he just gave away for others. So we all hopefully that those fruits will come forward and take his legacy forward. But definitely, if you ask anyone from who went to Western, they're going to say, yeah, we're going to miss him. But as I said, the 5 sum, it's going to be 1 minus now, right? That's super hard to take. Hopefully, he will rest in peace.
Hi, my name is Amish. I'm from SL2 Optum. I'm working with Naga from like last 7 years, so I can say he's like my guru because like he used to write like big SQL script. Like I don't know anything. Like when I joined my team, like I don't know anything. I started like learning like from like I used to go to him like asking like Naga, what is like this condition and like what should I do in order to get like this type of population knowledge. So he's always helping me, and I think because of him like I learned like so many things, and I think like everybody in my team like he knows so much about our like system that I don't know like someone can replace him. I don't know, like there is some issues in like 2017, and we used to work like in the office like late nights, and I remember like he always ordered like chola bhatura. I think he likes that, and he used to always order like chola bhatura from his restaurant, like biryani in hand. And couple of times like I used to travel from Virginia to Atlanta to meet my cousin, so he used to come along with me. I used to drop him in the Challa. And in the driving, I told him, and he was like, I used to ask him, like, why are you here? Like, why everybody is in India? Why are you here? Like, still working this much hard? Why can't you go to India and stay with family? So, like, I have a daughter, like, her daughter, she's still doing MBBS. I need to take care of her, and family need to take care of her. Now, I can't even imagine, like, from Monday, like, I don't know, like, how we are going to like work like without like thinking like Naga will be not with he will be not like any issue or anything like from our work like sorry.
Hi, my name is Prasad. I have been working with Naga since 2015. I have a lot of fond memories with him. He always used to help anyone. Like one of the sir said, like he works continuously for his family. Like that's really true. Like even we have seen him like working 24/7. Even I traveled from Michigan to Virginia, and from there we came here. Even while driving, we were talking the same thing, like he struggled so a lot, like 24/7 for his family and everything. And we had myself and Koti has a lot of memories with him, like because he doesn't know the driving, like wherever he wants to go when he is in Virginia, we used to take him like to Atlantic City, wherever. I always used to tell him like, Naga, don't feel shy like to ask us, like wherever you want to go, let us know. We will take you wherever you want. Even I remember like last year when we are going for a tour to West, I told him like Naga come along with, then Gautam and Naga booked the tickets, and somehow he got some work, and again he cancelled it. Like to tell his greatness, one small thing is sufficient. Like from my side, like I have an old iPhone. when he's going to India, like I told him, like Naga, please give this to my mom. Like she stays in Kovur, near to Rajahmundry. Then even the iPhone doesn't cost much. Like he traveled from Challa to my hometown to deliver that in person. Like even like I don't know, like that. That's why my mom also got surprised. Like even the iPhone, whatever you sent, that doesn't cost like whatever Naga spent on his car rental. Like he took the car rental and he went to my home and he delivered in hand to my house. Such a great person. Like even honestly, I am telling it from my bottom of the heart. My father passed away in 2018. When I heard the news, I got the same feeling. Like somehow, like I miss my own family member. Like we have such type of bond with him. Like even I spent like only 7 years with him. I can understand the feeling of the childhood friends who have been with him for the past 30 years or past 25 years. But we are also getting the same feeling. Like we missed a fatherly person. Like even and moreover, like whenever whomever I spoke recently, like in the last 2 days, all of them are like when I told them the same, like we don't have Naga no more. Everyone is crying, like that much of impact he has on in everyone's lives, and he's like for me, like he's like even though we used to travel everywhere, like he's like a fatherly person to me, and he left a lot of space, like no one can fill that space, like even at work or even personally also. Yeah, he left a lot of space in all of us, like whoever the friends and everything. So he's such a great person, and we missed him a lot. Like we used to work, like even for the past 2 weeks we are continuously working with him. Like we know, like how much impact we have without even we don't know, like how we can bear this loss in our lives. So in short, like he always used to tell him, like the family, and as Anvesh said, like he has taken care. He used to tell like about their daughters, like that elder daughter is studying MBBS or something, like she wants to continue with her PG. That's why, like even we used to tell him, like why you are taking so much of pressure, like working continuously, like then he used to say, like yeah, I have to take care of my family, and he has always that in his mind, like everyone in his family has to be at the highest level, like by the time he retires or something like that. But somehow this has happened, and it's an unfillable thing in our lives, like whoever is close to him. Thank you.
He's such a genuine person. I've not met such a genuine person in my life. We were all bachelors. He's the only married man when we all met in 91. All our seniors, juniors, everybody calls himself, including me, including roommates, right? Including our wives, we went through the marriages, we went through the kids. He was there for all of us, all the time, right? He's an advisor for all our families. He's there for us to tell us this is the right thing to do, there's the wrong thing to do. While we all had our family life, he did not have his family life. I want everybody to know that, right? He left his wife, kids back in India. He worked very hard for everybody else from here for the last 30 years. Who will do that? This man is just a great example for all of us. I really miss
one of my best friends and one of the roommates. We can go on and give a lot of examples, right? Some of us gave examples of how hard he worked. Every winter, we used to go and blow. In summer, we go and do the lawns, right? I used to say, sir, I can do only 3 hours, 4 hours. He used to do 8-hour days outside in the hot sun or winter colds. He would work the whole day. I would give up after 2 or 3 days. He would work the whole week, apart from studying. That is the man. Such a hard worker. I have not seen anybody else like that. I think everybody mentioned the same thing, right? For him, family comes first. Guys, I think we all need to learn from him, and I think family for sure. Please take his direction and move forward. But he's always with us. He'll be in our prayers. Yeah. Such a calm guy. Now he's a calm guy. I was just looking at his fingers. He's always keyboard. Always. Very hard guy. My name is Ravi Ayalraja. I was a junior, so they're all the roommates, and I think I came here after I know him from '93. We all call him Sir. One roommate my rooms we used to spend the time a lot, you know. And it's been a while since I talked to him. But I immediately, when I heard the news, the feeling, the memories, you know, they stay with you. The good moments you have, you're not going to forget. That's kind of a person, the kind of influence he has on each one of us. You know, they're going to stay with you. I think whatever he did, I think somehow it gave him happiness. Whatever he did for himself, his family, the choices he made, I think God has given him, chosen him to do certain things. That's how I feel personally. I think, and I'm hearing from his work colleagues, we all know that he's going to be one of the hard workers, he's one of the smartest guy. But I do remember asking his how do we do this, how do we do that, get his advice. You know, he always helping us. But hearing from you guys at work, he's the same Naga Challa that we know. You know, he basically carried the same thing. And especially the family, you know, I'm happy to see all of you, you know, with his support and help coming here, you know, because it gave him happiness. That's what I think. It gave him happiness. I know he may have lost something, but it gave him happiness, and that's what he was able to do it. You guys all bring him happiness, brought him happiness. Thank you.
అండి నా పేరు కర్ణాటక చికోటి నేను కూడా వెస్టర్న్ మిషిగన్లో into school doing your masters in Western. Not a good public speaker, so I can't speak much, but I just want to say a few things. Andar annattu, from the beginning, Naga was very hardworking. Hardworking ఒకటి ఏం చేసినా సిన్సియర్గా ఎక్కడ కాంప్రమైజ్ కాకుండా చేసేవాడు. హీ వాజ్ అప్ టు ఐ వుడ్ సే లైక్ పర్ఫెక్షనిస్ట్. ఎక్కడ దేనికి ఇప్పుడు నువ్వు 2 జాబులు చేసినా 3 జాబులు ఏదో మనం తుత్తురు అనుకుంటూ చేసేసి అయిపోయింది అన్నట్టు కాకుండా హీ వాజ్ డూయింగ్ ఇట్ సిన్సియర్లీ విత్ డెడికేషన్. ఏం చేసినా హీ యూస్ టు డెడికేట్ ఈస్ 100% టు ఇట్. ఎంత వాట్ ఎవర్ హీ కెన్ డూ హీల్ డూ ఇట్, రైట్? అండ్ మళ్ళీ ఎక్కడ కాంప్రమైజ్ కాదు, like education side. He never got his grades down or anything, and he helped us all with our assignments too. And denikayina prati daniki we used to go to him for any direction or advice. He was always there. A night call chesina he was there. At least you can count on him, that okay, I can call him at any night. And his friends annattu, it's amazing how he was able to manage even without driving in US. It's very difficult. You know, that's one small thing you can, see how passionate and dedicated he is. Without that, again, it's impossible for anybody. Not India driving, India and I could drive, even two-wheeler I couldn't drive in India. But after coming here, we have to, right? Means I'm just saying, where like half of my life I didn't drive before coming here, right? Like 20s వరకు ఇక్కడికి వచ్చి నేర్చుకోవాల్సి వచ్చింది, నేర్చుకున్నాము. But now we, but he managed it even now so far. It's amazing how he just, and he doesn't trouble anybody. He gets his things done. Under convenient ga, okay, అక్కడ తను వెళ్ళాలి ఎక్కడికైనా వెళ్ళాలంటే he make sure he goes there, but without troubling the other person who's taking him, right? And he'll make sure, okay, వాళ్ళకి ట్రబుల్ కావద్దు, ఎవరు కన్వీనియంట్ ఉందో he manages it and gets things done, right? Anyway, so we really do miss him. Lot of our Western friends I do see in our group pouring in lot of condolences messages. We all miss him. Lot of people wanted to come but couldn't come. Really, few of us came from Chicago. Last minute travel చేసి రావాల్సి వచ్చింది. అందరూ అంటే చాలా మందికి రావాలి ఉండింది, but they couldn't come because of the last minute changes. But everybody I see, even messages pouring in right now as we speak, that who, like our seniors andaru annattu, and seniors akkadi nunchi kuda andaru keep they remember him and they exchange the fond memories of him. May his soul rest in peace.
Hi, my name is Akbar. Most of you might not know me. I worked with Naga for I have been worked with Naga since 2014, and I have been in touch with him ever since I met with him. Even on Thursday evening, he called me and we had a chat on the phone, and I was seriously shocked when I heard the news Friday morning. And in the last 10 years that I know him, I can say he is one of those people whom I can completely rely on for doing anything. And he, like, I don't have to reiterate saying that he is one of the most hardworking people. It is not just the hard work that he does. It was surprising how he can manage to work 15, 16 hours every single day. And ever since I met him, I never saw him saying that he is tired or saying that he needs some time to do something. If it has to be done, he will make sure it gets done, no matter what it is. Be it work, be it outside work. And he has been one of the biggest supporters for me morally. And as a senior to me, he used to guide me in a lot of things. And I think it is not just me, we have a big team here who work with us. And on behalf of all the people that work with us, I can confidently say that we all are going to miss him. And he was there for everything for us, irrespective of whether it is professional or personal. And he used to take care of everybody around him. And we all really miss him a lot.
Friends के बाहर friends thanks. My feeling share చేస్తాను. బాబాయ్ మా దగ్గర స్ట్రెస్ తీసుకొని ఫ్యామిలీస్ దూరం చేసుకో. మా బాబాయ్కి ఒక్క వైపు ఒక్క ఛాన్స్ బాగుండే దేవుడు. థ్యాంక్ యూ వన్స్ అగైన్.
బాబాయ్ ఫ్రెండ్స్ అందరికీ వాళ్ళ మెమరీస్ షేర్ చేసినందుకు, వాళ్ళ టైం తీసుకుని బాబాయ్ చుట్టూ వచ్చినందుకు అందరికీ థ్యాంక్ యూ ఎవ్రీవన్. థ్యాంక్ యూ. మీరందరూ వచ్చి బాబాయ్ మెమరీస్ అన్ని గుర్తు చేసి చాలా థ్యాంక్స్. బాబాయ్ మాట్లాడు.
My name is Doreen. I worked with Naga. I only knew him for about a year. I never met him in person. I spoke with him every day, Monday through Friday, at least 15 minutes a day. He was a kind man. He was a hardworking man. He loved his family. He would tell me about his grandson. I know it's his nephew's son, but he would say his grandson. He was the go-to guy. He was there for us, always. We never had to question him. We all respected him. The people who I work with today, they were devastated on Friday. The people who heard this his disbelief to a shock. At the end of the day, he loved you very much. He loved his family, and he would do anything for them. And I am proud that he was part of my work family, and I feel his loss. But I know it's nothing compared to you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'm a colleague of Naga. I worked with Naga in a couple of projects under Akbar and the old team here. When I started working with him, he was elder to me, and we both did the same work. We both are database guys. We did the work together. So probably spoke with him every day, probably 50 minutes a day. And even the day when it happened, he was on call with me and my team currently when he did not answer the call. So I have to reach out to him. Normally, when he doesn't answer, I call him on the phone and say, Naga, are you okay? I didn't hear any response. Then a few minutes later, we came to know what happened. I'm privileged to be knowing Naga and work with him. It's just not his technical skills. He's a human. He's probably one of the best humans I have ever met. He just not thought for himself, he thought for everybody who he worked with. Somebody is not performing well, he would go help them out without being pushy or something. You tell them, and he would buy food for us. In the old project, I remember, all of a sudden, people get like totally consumed in project, and Naga says like, let's get samosa, and he would like ask us like, let's have some fun. He's always like calm. He would never be agitated, and the only time he would be agitated is like when we have a confrontation on technical stuff. And there was a guy who used to say, when Naga gets angry, he grows like 3 feet taller. And then he would make a point, then he comes back to his normal height. So that was David who used to tell all the time. He was like, he basically, the way Naga works is when he works with you, some of his passion rubs on you. That's Naga. That's Naga. Without really telling or anything. The way he works, the way he conducts himself, you also feel like you want to be, like him. You want to be calm guy, talk to everybody, help everybody, think the whole team, wherever he works as a family. That's what Naga is. So, privileged to know Naga, and I wish, like all of us, that it wouldn't have happened, but it did. We will remember, I will remember, we all will remember.
అబ్బాయిని ఈరోజు విజిట్ తర్వాత రేపు ఆఫ్టర్నూన్ న్యూ జెర్సీ పంపిస్తున్నాము 1 o'clock ఫ్లైట్కి. అక్కడి నుంచి 7 o'clockకి న్యూ జెర్సీ చేరుతాము. ఈలోపు హెల్త్ డిపార్ట్మెంట్తో వర్క్ చేసి సర్టిఫికేట్ యాజ్ సూన్ యాజ్ పాసిబుల్ వచ్చేలా చూస్తున్నాము. సర్టిఫికేట్ వచ్చిన తర్వాత ఇమిగ్రేషన్ క్లియరెన్స్ తీసుకొని మోస్ట్లీ ట్యూస్డే రోజు ఇండియాకి టికెట్ బుక్ చేస్తాం బాబు. మేమందరం కూడా ట్యూస్డే ఈవినింగ్ ఇండియా వెళ్దాం. ట్యూస్డే ఈవినింగ్ ఇండియా వెళ్ళి మోస్ట్లీ థర్స్డే ఆర్ ఫ్రైడే ఇండియా రీచ్ అవుతాము. చాలా థ్యాంక్స్ అండి, మీరందరూ వచ్చి బాబాయ్ మెమరీస్ షేర్ చేశారు. థ్యాంక్ యూ. The service concludes. Thank you.
బాయ్ తాత. బాయ్ తాత.